What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are covering the top stories on VGN. So there was a video that has went viral by ReviewTechUSA where he covers a lot of different topics about the next generation consoles and the launches, and he talks about a lot of different things that don't seem to be adding up and looking good. Now, I'm not going to go through each point and talk about it. He's quoting anonymous sources, and I don't really like talking about anonymous sources. I'd rather just wait for the official confirmation, the official word before, I pull out my pitchfork. But I do want to address his main point, and a main point that he is catching a lot of hell for, and a lot of people have called him out, saying that he's full of BS for this statement. And I'm not really sure that you can totally discount it. So his main point in the video, or his last comment that he put a lot of emphasis on, was that PlayStation 4 originally was going to have DRM policies in place that were just as restrictive as the Xbox One. And he says that Sony saw, the backlash from Microsoft, and so they ended up going against that. And so now whenever you get that patch on day one, you know how it says that now the patch is to be able to play DVDs and Blu-rays. He's saying that the patch is there to remove the DRM policies. At least that's what I gathered. So I want to know, if I'm approaching this from a conspiracy theorist standpoint, number one, does Sony have this technology in place? Could they even do this? Is this even possible? And then we can, debate whether or not he's full of, whatever it is that you want to, imagery. On September 12, 2012, Sony applied for a patent. Now, if you go through, I'll leave the link in the description box so you can go look at the actual patent that was filed. It has all kinds of diagrams, drawings, and it has descriptions of what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to summarize what this basically does. So it was going to have a tag on the game disc that the console would be able to read and verify. You put the disc into the tray, the console will then verify the system, link that disc to your user account, and then there you go. It's linked. Now, they talk about why this technology would be preferred. They say that if you look at DRM policies as they are right now, where you have to be connected to the internet, where you have to use a username and password, they say, look, you can't control that. You could still share your username and password with somebody. As far as Microsoft's DRM policy that they originally had, that they did end, what their system was going to do was check in and ping your Xbox every 24 hours. Sony says the problem with this approach is that, quote, where the device is not connected to the internet, use of the content cannot be controlled. Their ultimate goal was to have the ultimate DRM policy that's connected to the game disc and the console, and this would be able to allow them to number the number of times that disc could be sold. So instead of giving the lock to the server that you have to ping into or you have to type your password into, the lock is actually stored on the hardware itself. And the patent clearly says that this is for dealing of electronic content in secondhand markets, which would then support the redistribution of parts of proceeds from sales of the electronic content to developers. So did they have the technology? Yes, most definitely. Does this mean that this story is true? Did Sony really, were they going all the way up to the finish line with this and then all of a sudden backed off at the very last moment? Due to backlash, or was it really because they had the best of intentions all along? I don't know. I wasn't there. It's kind of like that camera deal where Sony has recently said that they would never try to force a camera on you. That's anti-consumer. But then it turns out that, well, they actually did try to bundle a camera, but they couldn't do it with the right price point. So either way, I don't think in the end it matters. It doesn't matter what Sony's intentions were. It doesn't matter what Microsoft's intentions were. A lot of people say Microsoft tried to screw people. Why would anybody, go back with Microsoft after they tried to do that? Look, nobody was screwed. We are consumers. They are producers. They're producing a product, and we are consuming it. And whatever it is that they offer you on launch day, that is the only thing that matters in the end. And at that point, it doesn't matter what their intentions were. Some people look at, what Microsoft was going to do, and they say, look, I'm completely happy to go all digital right now. So, have at it. Let me go for it. In the end, I'll do a video on that, actually. I've been meaning to, but I think it was definitely the right decision to back off for this. And I'm not foregoing all cloud. So don't, take what I'm saying and try to say that I'm all for going all digital, because I'm not. I think it was the right decision for both Sony and Microsoft to back away from this, no matter what their intentions were. I think it's better for us, definitely. And I think it's better for everybody all around. But the technology was definitely there. Their intentions, in the end, don't matter. They are not our friends. I'm not their friend. They're not your friend. We are consumers, and they are offering a product, and they're going to, say on launch day, this is what we have to offer you for this price point. Do you accept? And everything else goes out the window at that point. And no matter which one you end up going with, Sony, Microsoft, doesn't matter. You are going to have an awesome gaming machine. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. If you want to stay tuned to the latest news and updates, stay tuned to VGN and right here to this channel. Again, all the important links in the description box. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.